We had gone on a mission to go pull troops out of the jungle. They were under fire at the time too. And like I say, nobody over there, most outfits, wouldn't go into a bad area, to try to get people out of it, our own troops. And anyway, flight of us, we went in, and of course we had to come in. The troops we were going to pick up were on the other end of a clearing, and you had to go the other end down to get them. And in the meantime, doing that, hell broke loose. Both tree lines, and the crew chief even told me, he said he could see tracers coming through the opening of the helicopter and underneath the helicopter, and which I was dodging, trying to anyway. And we lost the helicopter going in. We made it to the other end, and there was enough. Well, with the helicopters we had, there was enough for each helicopter to get them all out. But we lost one helicopter and didn't have room for them, and so somebody had to go back in again, make one trip back in there. Oh man. And on my way out of there to start with, my 60 jammed on me, so it wasn't working. And we were picked to be the ones to go back in there to pick that last group up. And where's one of my friends on the fence there?
So even with the gun jammed, you still had to go back in there?
Well, when we put the people out, took my 60 off and got one of the other 60s and put it on there, and to go back in. And oh God, it took a lot to go back in there knowing what we'd just gone through, and didn't know what it was going to be like going in there this time. I know the Cobras had already worked over the area, but he still didn't know. I mean, and we went in, and I was jawed all up, just knowing, we're going to get our butt blown out of the air right there. And but it happened that we didn't. Whoever was flying on helicopter I was on were lucky, because I was bringing good luck to them. And yeah, I ain't lying, but my luck was from the man up yonder. And because I ain't lying, I saw my death. I can't count the times I've looked right in the eye of my death before and not be able to do anything. And I made it out. Go into another one real bad. Everybody else getting hit. We'd make it right out. So maybe I was lucky. I was a piece of luck, because there was times I knew I was gonna die. I mean, I just knew it. No way around it. I was gonna die. And squirm around in that little hole back there, dodging stuff you can't see, and you hear it hitting around you. And that particular trip in, I had taken around through the pole that the 60 was mounted on. It went in the pole because it was hollow inside of that pipe. But it went through the outer part of that top pipe and bulged the other side out, which would have probably hit me right about in the gut if it come through. It stopped. I mean, my whole time over there, I was taken care of. It seemed like no matter what I would do or where I'd end up in, it always worked out for me, you know. And I kind of felt bad, but then I didn't feel bad because I didn't lose my life when the other ones were. Watching them die, watching them right in front of me die. And you can't do anything. You can't do anything to help them. Which makes you, it hurts you inside to not be able to keep your buddies, from dying. Oh yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I quit flying when I had 30 days left. I told them I was done, And like I say, you could quit at any time you wanted to, a gunner. They would not make you be a gunner. Strictly volunteer. You could go in there and say, well, I quit. That's fine. Nothing will be said. But my last month there, I wasn't going to take any more chances. Because one of the pilots, he had 28 days left. And they sent him on a bad mission. And, oh God, they took around through the bubble in front of the helicopter. It come up, hit him right up below the knee, come out the top of the knee, hit him here and blew the top of his head off. 28 days. And he was a good guy, real good pilot.
So what did you do for the last 30 days?
Nothing. Nothing. Hang out, go to the little bar where they had right there in the company area. Go hang out in there, and I did have to watch Vietnamese fill up sandbags at one time, and that was it. I mean, I didn't have to do nothing. I'd already done my share over there. Oh yeah. I told him, I said, I ain't flying no more. said, I'm hanging my wings up. And they took it just as calm as can be. You know, no problem at all. And come to find out, they did a survey on the jobs in Vietnam. And about the worst job there was over there. And they went through a big list, you know, getting down lower and lower. And I didn't think they were going to say anything about it, you know, gunners, you know. And then all of a sudden it popped up on the screen that door gunner was the worst job in Vietnam you could have. Yeah. And it was. You don't have anywhere to run. You start taking fire, you got a little room out here, you're dodging like this in it, you know. You can't see anything, but it's hitting around you, and you're so pumped full of adrenaline, you're able to make it. I mean, able to make yourself, I guess, in a way that I don't know how to say that. There was more adrenaline going through your body than you could imagine. You know, every time, get ready in the morning and take off. Say we're going to a place where suspected enemy activity, put these troops in, and so on the way there, I'd look up at the top of over my head there to the radio that control you talking to the pilots and all, and you could talk to the helicopters with you, but they had a nav channel come in Saigon, rock and roll. So I'd get there, and when we getting ready to start heading into a place, I'd get it on the channel, I'd crank it up, and there was always some good hard time rock and roll on there. And that would actually help. I mean, really help. And you fire it up, it's starting to go in, and you already got your hand on the 60 and looking before you even get where, you know, we're going to be. You're already looking front, back, on the ground, up in the trees, everywhere. You know, anywhere could be any activity. But you just, I mean, it did something to you to pump your adrenaline, you know, and not to be afraid. Especially with that music did it. That put some enjoyment in your head, and you were just going in to help somebody, and no matter what, because I've had so many chances of dying all along that it was unreal. It was unreal. I would actually feel bad about being able to not get killed when people right there with us, would. And it was all the time. Sometimes I felt guilty about it. It's made me sick sometimes to see some of the mess. And they sent us out in the jungle one day to a South Vietnamese troop area to pick up 3 dead Vietnamese troops. They'd been out there over a week in the jungle, dead. And we go, they sent us into an area like that. It was a bad area. And landed, and here they come with these 3 bodies. They tossed on the helicopter. They were partially covered up with ponchos. Arms and legs be hanging out. And Vietnamese, they're skinny people. But their daggone legs bloated like that. And they were popping, the blisters were popping while they were on the floor, and that mess running out on the floor, and it was, oh man, you'd throw up right to start with. The first little bit of it, it'd make you throw up. It smelled so bad. And I had to stand up and lean out over top of my 60 to get air in my face to where I could stand it. Why in the world would they send you out there for take a chance of being shot down for 3 dead, weak-old Vietnamese troops? It's the most stupidest mess I ever seen. And the nastiest. I don't think it could get nastier than that. That stuff running all on the floor there, and as soon as it hit you, you couldn't help but throw up. Right then. Got back, got rid of the bodies, took JP4 diesel, JP4 jet fuel to clean that daggone floor. Where you get the odor out off of it. I've seen them put them on the helicopter, half the head gone, an arm missing or a leg. Mangled bodies. Why couldn't they put them in a truck or something and haul them in? Not take a chance of losing a helicopter for a couple of bodies. But no. We'll do it. Just let us know, and we'll be right there. It don't matter. Anyways, I pulled my time there. I called a flight back. It was at night when I left Vietnam, and the flight we were on we ran into some turbulence, some strong turbulence in that big liner. That it was bouncing us all around in the seat, and you knew darn well you were going to die. The plane, you're going to spend all that time in the arm, and you're going to head home, and you're going to crash in a plane and die. That was scary. That was the whole trip back. Oh God, that was a nice thing to look forward to going home. And then when we got back, we landed in California, and we went to a place right then and started processing out. It was at nighttime. Started going through all the paperwork to get out of the military. And then on the way home on the different flights, well, it took a while to get home. Take a flight here and there and wait. And they gave you a uniform to wear home, which was a mistake, because all you would hear is smart-ass remarks about gook killers, just running us down. You know, it didn't bother them to say it right in front of a bunch of people inside the place waiting for your flight. And they look at you. I mean, I'd want to shoot them to bird, you know, which I wouldn't do. Wouldn't show my ass off for that. And I mean, you go home feeling worthless. You go home feeling like you deliberately killed a bunch of people over there in Vietnam. And I wasn't proud of it. You know, I wasn't proud of any of it. But I come home. I landed over there at the airport here. Had my duffel bag with clothes and stuff in it. And I walked from the airport to here. Didn't have no ride. And during the daytime. And that's when I left it, you know. I think it's caused me a lot of I don't know. I grew up quick. In 2 years. And doing and seeing the worst things you could probably think of. All that in 2 years. And then you still catch crap from people after you got out, you know. So I don't know, man. I just dealt with what I had to deal with, you know. I know people have made comments, you know, about me, and and not nice comments either. And I had to deal. You had to deal with it. You couldn't shoot them, even if you wanted to. You know. I've never been in trouble at all. Never. Except when I was going back to Nam the second time. I think I told you about that. Where I almost didn't go back. But I knew I had to. There's no way around it. I had to go back. I didn't want the government and the law be chasing me down, you know, and catching me and then put me in prison forever. So I dealt with it. I quit school halfway through my 10th year. And that's when after that I went in the Army. And so I didn't have no education. But, and I'm not bragging about anything, I have done more for myself than a lot of people that's gone to college for all kind of things, you know, and never ever get the job that they want and all that. I mean, everywhere I worked, I'd go up the ladder some. Working at Clark Sailboat Company here in the other side of Newbern. A couple of years there. They hired me as a woodshop supervisor. And of course I worked in the wood shop, you know, making wood parts for the boats and all. And then they made me quality control right there. And then I went back to Hatteras when they started hiring back. Because when I quit from there, we work a week, off a week. Work a week and off a week. You can't, and I was married. I mean, you can't live like that. And so I just did my best, and I went back to Hatteras. They hired me back. They put me in the oh heck. What do you call it when you do special jobs or something?
Custom?
Huh?
Custom?
Yeah. They put me in the custom crew up there in the main plant. And I worked for that for a while, doing, you know, any kind of work in it. And they finally had a chance to go down the water. We'll go to electric check. They put me down there, and me and Chuck Lawson, they put us hanging wallpaper on the boat. And I mean, both of us learned how to do it then in electric check. And went from there. I mean, went down on the water and